flying down those steps. He is anxious for the day.
Excited to be here.
Excited to be here. Nice and cool morning, and going to be a lovely day today.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah.
I walked outside this morning. It's like, my goodness, the air is thick.
Yeah, it hadn't even got started yet. Yeah, we're going to have and it's going to be one of those kind of, I think, Julys this year.
Yeah.
I really do. It's looking into next week, it's not getting better. It's actually going to stay very, very warm and muggy, even all the way up to the 4-H and livestock auction. So, going to be hot.
It is, and it'd be a good time now to mention to people, to make sure you're taking the correct precautions. If you're going to be out and about, make sure you're drinking plenty of water, taking care of yourself, and just watch yourself. Make sure you don't get overheated.
Yeah, we've been kind of trying to make sure we've been putting that word out. But Brad, we all know right now, even though the air is a little bit thick, it's only 74 degrees.
Yeah.
You can do that at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It might be 94 degrees and feeling like about 100. So, it's going to be a little bit very, very humid out there still. So, again, stay well hydrated, loose, light-fitting, light-colored clothing. Trying to remind people to avoid indulging in any kind of alcoholic beverages while they are outside in this kind of weather, because it will dehydrate you quickly, or extremely high caffeinated beverages.
Yes.
And somebody said, well, like what? Like Mountain Dew and those things. They can really zap you a little bit quicker. I know they might give you a little push for a second or two, but they can really help dehydrate you quickly.
Yeah, and you know what? It really sneaks up on you. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunately got a hold of you before you realize it in most cases. So you just have to be careful and take the proper precautions.
Right, and you don't want to get heat exhaustion or heat stroke. We always remind people, try and watch out for that. It can, like you say, though, it can come on you very quickly. Saw somebody get heat exhaustion very quickly, and, their face is red. They stop sweating a little bit, like, whoa,
Sure.
ruh-roh.
Yeah.
You got to get them inside or get them out of the heat. And you want to cool their body down, but you don't want to douse them in ice cold bucket of water.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea. Take a nice cool damp rag, put it on their neck, armpits, etc. Don't put it on their chest.
Yeah.
Back of the neck. Cool them down a little bit. Slowly cool them down. Get them out of that sun. And hopefully if you can get them in an air-conditioned area, that'll cool them down a little quicker too. But the idea is you don't go stand in front of the refrigerator, open it up. Not gonna get you a lot cooler, a lot quicker.
No.
Kind of like turn your air on when it's 78 degrees and you put it down on 50. It's gonna get there faster, right?
Unfortunately not.
No, but if it does get to 50, you're going to be cold.
That's when you go to bed and you forget about it, and you wake up the next morning and it's like, oh, I remember.
Yeah. Just remember, when you do change your settings on your thermostat, and I can't speak for every single unit, but it's about 3 degrees an hour. So that's why programmable thermostats are really good to have, especially if your home is getting just inundated with sunshine, and right now, and especially if you have kids that are in and out of the house all the time and playing in the water and everything else, but which isn't a problem except when they keep opening that door. And they open it up for all their friends. And they leave it open, and then you watch your air conditioning fly right out that door.
That's right.
You're very well versed in all this.
I am. I can tell you stories.
How bad? I remember one time when I was a little kid, I went to close the garage door, and I don't know if there was some suction in there in the house or what, but it didn't close. And the air was on, and then it opened. I don't know if it just opened. It was open enough, and then maybe, an inch? Well, trust me, when my dad found that inch and that whole front room was warm versus the rest of the house, I learned about it.
Absolutely. And we had that same scenario actually this morning. The kids got in the car, and I was going to take them to daycare, and we're pulling out of the driveway, and I look, and it's like, guys, the door is standing wide open. And it's like, why didn't you shut the door? And it's like, I don't know. So of course, you get to stop and go shut the door, and the fun stuff. So,
well, we all know, and we need to remind everybody. We're going to talk a little bit about utility bills, but this is the time of year that these utility bills sometimes people want to stay comfortable. We all know that. Please watch what you're doing. I mean, once this new system is fully involved, you'll be able to actually watch it day by day. But it's not quite there yet to where you can watch your own account yet. But it's going to get there. I want to tell you, this can be shocking when you start to crank your AC and, like I've mentioned, drop it down to 50, and that thing runs for 5 or 6 or 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
You're going to find that it can really add up in a hurry. So again, watch what you do. You know, refrigerators. I know I've said this a million times, and I do it all the time. So it's really bad. When you open a door, if you know what you want when you go in, it's a lot quicker. If you go there and stand there and look, what do I have in the refrigerator that I would like to eat or drink? 5, 10, 15, 20, 35 seconds goes by.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that cold air that was in your refrigerator, well, that has gotten out into the kitchen area, dining room area, wherever you have your refrigerator, and it doesn't do a lot to cool down the house, though.
No, proper planning.
Proper planning, if you know what's in there.
Yeah.
And if not, try and look in the refrigerator in the morning.
Yeah.
Before you get home from work and figure out I need to get something 6 o'clock in the afternoon when it's 99 in the shade. Yeah, hot. Very humid. Well, anyway, we had a regular Board of Aldermen meeting, and I know we were just here a week ago, so it doesn't seem like it's possible, but it is. That was a special board meeting to approve the budget. This is the regular board meeting, and of course, because you did a lot of work last time, you didn't have to do it on this meeting, so it was a fairly short meeting.
That is correct. We did have a few items that we needed to take care of in this meeting, though, and so the first item up, we dealt with some bids. We had a couple of bids for a couple of police cars. And so Chief Chase had actually found a couple of vehicles that had been purchased from another department, and something happened and the deal fell through, and so the people had the vehicles on the lot. So we were able to purchase them at a discounted rate.
I like that.
I like those. Yeah. So they were two Dodge Durangos is what was bid, and Bellman Chrysler, Dodge and Jeep out of Troy, Missouri, is the ones that had these vehicles on the lot. We had budgeted $80,000, $40,000 a piece, and we actually got them, both of them for $64,738. So we saved some money there. There still will be some money that we'll have to spend on them when they get here to outfit for lights and that type of thing. But we did actually get to realize some savings by purchasing these vehicles that were already on the lot.
Very good. Yeah, Sheriff's Department just bought a couple. They're $40,000, $39 something.
Yeah. Well, and you know what you have to look at too is if you order a new vehicle right now, with everything going on and the COVID, there's no guarantees of when you're going to get these things. So if you can find them on the lot, you're a lot better off than trying to order them.
Yeah, and he was able to find a couple in St. Louis. But, Bellman has been known to have vehicles sometimes like this available to you, and they usually have a pretty good stock. But police vehicles are a little different. They're not just made to sit there and let people come out after them and say, "Hey, I want that police vehicle." It's pretty nice. Yeah, I bet you do.
Sure you do.
I bet you do. So anyway, a couple of new ones, and this falls into the police department. They have a rotation that they have put into place. I think that's 7 years now.
I believe that's correct. And you know, that program, since it has started, has worked out really well for us. We have, by doing this, we have saved a lot of money on maintenance issues, that type of thing. You know, we were basically driving our cars prior to now. We drove them till they died,
right.
And then we drove them a little bit further. And so then, you know, when you went to sell them,
drove them as zombies, huh?
I'm telling you, we actually had, and this has been several years ago, but we had one police car that when they got on scene to an accident, they would have to open up the hood of the vehicle so it wouldn't overheat. It was pretty sad. But with this new vehicle rotation that we're using now, that's taking care of the majority of all those issues. And then now we try to sell them when they've got about 50 to 60,000 miles on them. And, at that point, they're still good cars.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to sell them, you can actually get a lot more money out of them. And then that helps you purchase the next one. So it's definitely been a great benefit. I believe next year, the way the rotation goes, is we don't have to purchase any vehicles for next year. So we'll have a year off, and then the following year.
Which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, it'll help. But then the next year we'll pick up again.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's worked really well.
Yeah, it's a very good program, and like you mentioned, you're able to sell them for more money, and then when you can buy them at a discount like you just did, the return is much greater to where you don't have that. Immediately people know when they take a new car off the lot, you're going to lose $10,000 to $15,000 in value.
Sure.
Well, you lose $10,000 to $15,000 in value. Add $50,000 on that. If it's a $40,000 car, you might be able to get $10,000, $15,000 for it. Well, now if you get $10,000 or $15,000 for it, you only paid $32,000 for it. You get half your money back.
Yeah.
That's not a bad deal.
Yeah.
And you got use out of it for 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. And so it works out really well. So we'll keep moving forward.
Continue to move that way. All right, after the consent agenda, Mr. Walden, our city administrator, was up next. And, of course, we all know that we've been talking about utility bills. And
yes.
We've continued to talk about utility bills. People are lining up to pay, though. That's, I guess, a good thing, huh?
Yes.
But anyway, one of the things about utility bills, and we all know that we had the last one was a big adjustment bill, and a lot of people had to select an option. Some people forgot to check the box where they select the option. They might have paid part of it, but they forgot to select the box. Therefore, some people have an option that they didn't really want.
Yeah.
And they have to call back and have to make some adjustments. But the thing is that, guys, your bills will start coming out more on a regular basis now. But as was discussed with the alderman, trying to get what period do we want the billing to be? I mean, because obviously you can't have, let's say, July 1st to July 31st and have the bill out August 1st.
Yeah, exactly.
Not possible.
Yeah.
Now, if you have that bill out August 10th, and then they have to pay it by the end of August, that's a possibility. So, but there's that discussion because people in Salem have gotten used to getting their bill on the 1st and paying it by the 10th.
Yeah.
Or by the 20th when it has to be paid. So that, they're trying to figure out what is the best scenario. So, but in the meantime, there's still a few little issues still going on. Like we mentioned, trying to figure out some of these people who made the wrong option, they're calling and trying to get that fixed. Or they're coming by and using a drive-through window, and we, thank you for doing that. While following the coronavirus guidelines, we really thank you for that. You can also drop off your payment, by the way, in the front of City Hall. There is a drop box there, and I know people say, well, I don't know where it is. All right. If you go by the convenient cover drive-through window right there, okay, you won't. It's not too far away from that. Maybe 5 feet up the wall, and it's a depository. It's like it's an old bank depository, and all you gotta do is open it up, stick your envelope in there, and it'll shut on its own.
Yep, and you're done.
And you're done.
Yes.
So you don't have to go through the drive-through.
Yeah.
If you have a question, then go through the drive-through, but you don't have to wait in line.
Yes.
And you don't have to wait in line outside. Unless you have a question or two.
Yeah, and I will say I appreciate the ones that have been patient with us going through the drive-through and also calling. We have definitely got a lot higher call volumes and also a higher volume going through the drive-through. We actually worked with a company yesterday and got the second stall open in the drive-through. So that'll help get people in and out faster there. I know the lines have been long at at times. Also, as far as the phones go, we're working with the phone company to be able to extend our capabilities on our phone system. There have been a few times where it's just been they've been maxed out. Right, the lines were ringing, nonstop, and it made it really difficult for people to get through. And so, as those issues come up, we're trying to address them as quickly as possible, and we really appreciate people being patient with us. And hopefully in the next month or so, this thing will be
Put behind you, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Still got to figure out those dates and things, but the alderman will do that, and that will be an alderman's decision
Yeah.
as to how they want to do it. But right now, if I've heard Ray correctly, out of the 2,500 plus bills you have, there's 121 accounts that they're still having some issues with.
Yes.
And they're working towards getting those done. They're going to continue to put the billing out, though, and new form, though. We got a new bill. We got a new type of looking bill. And so, just if you have any questions, call. I know this bill had the discount that people paid. They get the discount when they prepaid. If they got the 5%, well, you have to pay this bill to get the 5% on time now. So you have time to still pay it, but
Yeah.
don't forget about it, because if you don't pay your bill on time, you lose the discount that
Sure.
you paid off the previous month. So don't do that.
Yeah.
And anybody who's had option 2 or 3, those are spread out over time. So again, kind of keep that in mind. When you have questions, though, because it is a different looking bill.
Yes, it is.
So people are going to have questions. You can call 729-4117, but be patient. They may say, I have to get somebody to call you back. It may be the next day. Okay.
And what we're doing with we don't have a huge staff at the admin building, and so we've been trying to bring in staff from other areas to help us answer phones, that type of thing. And so some of them may or may not have access to the computers. They may or may not know what to look for when they pull it up, because that's not their primary job. So it may take a little bit, or they may have to get somebody else on the line, to look at the bill and kind of decipher what's going on. But, definitely make sure and call us if you have any questions, but be patient with us if you would, please.
Okay. And I know some people may say that their bill, they've changed out these meters. Hey, my bill looks low. I've never paid a low bill. Well, I really didn't have a real hot spring. Our springs were fairly mild. And remember, this is May you're paying for right now. And May wasn't too bad. So
No.
June's got a little bit worse. And
Yeah.
then July definitely has not been good. All I can tell you is this. If you think that your bill is wrong and have to go back and have to readjust it and have to take a manual meter reading, then it may take a little bit longer to get that done. However, they do audits on these accounts, and the audits are actually automatically done. So if there was something missed, or if there was some electric that wasn't counted, or maybe it was just a timing thing, it'll all be coming back out in the wash. Trust me. So, don't think that you have to call and say, hey, I only paid $95 for my bill, and I know it should be higher. Maybe. But you may not want to speak that quickly, because if there was an issue there somewhere, maybe in the middle of changing a meter or something of that nature, you're going to make up for it the next month.
Yeah.
So please, just be patient.
Yes.
They're trying to get through this. Once they get through it, I'd say by the end of the summer, we should be all good to go. But give it a couple more months. And they are working with the software companies. There was a large discussion at the Alderman meeting about this. And there is frustration out there. We all have it.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody. And trust me, nobody's more frustrated than the employees of the city.
Yeah, that's exactly
Because they can't get a lot done
because
they have to answer phone calls, and your right to call is there.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong, but you can't get a lot done when the phone keeps ringing, and you have to go and address those issues. And so again, they're doing the best that they can, trying to get everything else done. Still trying to issue construction permits, still trying to get this stuff out. Makes it really difficult when you again have a lot of utility questions that. Hopefully, if you be a little bit patient, we're going to get to them.
Yep. We'll get them worked out.
So I understand that the rest of the water meters were shipped out.
Yes. We need that.
I didn't say they're here.
We need the button there.
I said they were shipped, and I didn't say they're here.
Yes, they were shipped. Hopefully, we will see those soon. Mark was supposed to be calling the company that's going to be installing those for us, and hopefully, within a day or so of them getting here, that company will be here to finish installing the rest of them. They have promised us that they will bring enough people that they will have the rest of them done in roughly a week.
Wow.
And so hopefully we can get those in, get those going, and then that's going to be definitely a huge step to getting this thing completed.
And I understand they have a few meters they put in that they're too high, and they have to go
Yes.
in and put a different sleeve in there and stuff of that nature. So
Yes.
I'm sure that's all part of when they come back, they're going to get all that done.
Yes.
You know, no sense of coming back to replace those without having the other meters. So
That is correct.
that's a very good. So a lot of the issues that we're having, you can see it, the light at the end of the tunnel now.
I hope so.
It's getting there.
I just
getting there.
hope it's not
I
a
know.
train.
It's been, it's been a long time coming. And the thing is, with COVID-19 and everything, and you're sitting around, it kind of takes full frontal view, doesn't it? I mean,
It really does. And, it seems like with this project, for some reason, basically, if it can go wrong for us, it did.
It has,
And so we're working through it the best that we can. We've got the software companies working, the best that they can. We're still dealing with companies that they're not even back to their offices yet. They're still working from home.
Yeah.
Which, we had talked about that a little bit earlier before the show. And so it makes it really difficult to try to get something done. We're doing the best we can. We're moving forward. We had talked with the billing software company day before yesterday, and I think they're getting a lot closer to getting done what they need to get done. And we are hoping that as soon as they finish up, we'll be back on track.
All right, very good. Okay, fireworks display parade went very well.
Yes, it did. Had a really good turnout. Really didn't know what to expect. There again with the whole COVID thing. But we had a really nice parade. There was a lot of entries, and had a lot of people uptown. And most people were social distancing the best you can, and that type of thing. And then that evening with the fireworks, we've had a lot of compliments on the fireworks.
Yes, very good. I understand everything went well.
Yep.
Had a good way of exiting and entering the commons and got all that done. And so, again, a great job done by the distribution of firework displays. Hey, there's a science to all that
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely.
I mean, those people do a great job in having to try and plan that all out and make it all work. So,
Yeah.
Again, a lot of tip of our cap to them. Very, very good job. So, very good there. Also, we have had many streets that have been chipped.
Yes.
Not just chip and seal, but we've had the Nova chips,
the Nova chips,
which have done a great job. And a lot of those streets look really good, Brad.
They do. The company came in and they were able to get all the streets done in roughly a week.
Mm-hmm.
We got Park Street done, and
Finally.
It's the streets that they done. Man, they look nice. And I wish we had an unlimited budget and go through and do every street in town, but unfortunately we don't. We spent about $400,000 this year getting the streets done that we were able to get done. But they done a really nice job, and the streets that they did do, they look really nice, and hopefully will look that way for a long time.
Well, because of those, and the alderman had decided to try and get this all done in one whack. So they had money in the special street fund for 2019-20. They also had money put aside for 2021. That money for 2021 was to be used this year whenever we could get it done.
Yes.
So if the money last year had to be done in July, or the money from next year could be done in June. Whenever West could get down here and get it done, and MB West was able to get it done before the end of the fiscal year. And so a budget amendment had to be made.
That is correct. So we addressed that with bill number 3453, which is an ordinance to amend the budget, and that was approved.
And that was the only thing on the budget to be amended was the special street fund, in which the revenues came out of the reserves, and then of course that money will be put back in from the budgeted amount to the reserves from the new fiscal year.
Yes.
Does it make sense sometimes? But you have to make sure that all that works. All has to come out in the wash. Doesn't it?
And you know, the nice thing about being able to do it like that is we were actually able to get a lot more done than if we would have just used 200,000 out of one budget and then had to bring them back, you know, at a separate time and do another 200,000.
We've done that before.
We have, and you know, lumping that together drops the price quite a bit. So we were able to get a great price, and then it goes further, of course, on the streets and what we can do.
Done.
So
yeah, absolutely, and a great job. They did a really good job.
Yes,
and,
they did.
Didn't leave a lot of residue. You know, a lot of times when they do these, you get a lot of. You hear it in your wheel wells. Ting, 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 ting. Not too much. I mean, there's always going to be a little, but not too much. All right, very good. And then they were going to discuss, the board was about Domeyer Airport hangar fee and other hangar fees out at the airport. They just don't have enough information as of yet, do they?
No, that is correct. And so we want to make sure that we have enough information to make an informed decision, and we're not quite to that point yet. And so the alderman voted to postpone this until we can gather some more information, and then we'll bring it up again at a latter meeting.
Very good.
Very good.
Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned. That was it.
That was it. And so a fairly short meeting, but there was a lot of discussion. I say fairly short meeting, short agenda, but still a 45 to almost 50-minute meeting with a lot of discussion with the utility bills and different things that need to be done, and so are hoping to be done here in the near future. So there was a lot of good discussion, and you know, it's a tough position when something doesn't go right. And you're working with two software companies and COVID-19, and you've got limitations. And then they're going to be, as they approved last meeting at the last meeting that they had, a special meeting to go ahead and renovate part of the city administrative offices there to make it easier and more safe for the girls behind the utility office. Well, that's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
It is going to be a mess, but it has to be done. It really does need to be done.
It does, and you know, I would like to take a second to mention the ladies at the office and Ray and Mark, and you know, those guys have put in a ton of hours, trying to get this stuff going, keep it on track, and doing what we can to make sure that everybody's getting their bills and that type of thing, and you know, the hours that they have put in on this thing above and beyond their regular 40 has just been amazing. And Ray, you know, there's been several times that we've been out at a fire or something, and it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you drive by and Ray's there working, and and then he'll leave and he's back at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I really appreciate their hard work and their dedication that they've put in, and that they've just done. For the circumstances that we've had, they've done an amazing job.
Yeah, they have. They really have. And tip of our cap to them. It's something that most people don't know.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of hours. Well, Mary, all of them, put in these long hours. Sometimes I get emails at 2 in the morning. I think, what are you doing there 2 in the morning?
Yeah.
You know, and then you're back there the next day. And they've been working weekends, too. So it's not
absolutely.
like they've had the week off. And so have you. So, you know, we want to remind people that it's not been a holiday for anybody at the City Hall right now and trying to get everything up to date. We want to thank all of them for doing that.
Absolutely.
Buddy, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having
it's
me.
Mayor Brad Nash and Mayor's Moments here on KSMO Radio. You have a wonderful day and keep those kids in line, man.
We'll try.
Yeah,